I'm Dave and this is Logan, out once again for a walk in the countryside. Thanks for joining us. Now today we're at the pretty village of Amport in Hampshire. It's just to the west of Andover and to the south of the Thruxton Motor Racing circuit, just off the A303. And today we're going to be doing a roughly 5-mile circular route, starting and finishing in the village, heading out to the west to another little village called Quarley. We're going to see 2 delightful churches, one of which has got a quite extraordinary feature. We're seeing Amport House, some quite stunning scenery, and a quite enchanting little stream. So do join us. Now we're filming, well, it's the beginning of May, it's Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow. A little chilly at the moment, Logan's still got his fleece on, but the sun is threatening to come through, so hopefully it's going to warm up a little bit later. Perfect for walking. He keeps looking to the right. He's seen a couple of ducks that have just waddled by. Are we ready? Let's go. Well, I've parked my car at the village green, and what a delightful little green it is as well. Look at that lovely purple blossom on that tree on the right. But so just the sun just beginning to come through in the morning now. It really is quite pretty, but these wonderful thatched properties looking over the green, each with its own individual characteristic, and so well looked after and presented. Beautiful. Well, just to the east of the green is this very pretty little nature reserve. I think they call it Amport Fen. Well worth a little meander through if you're coming to the area. Anyway, we're now going to start our walk properly by heading north on a footpath that takes us out of the village. We will have a look at a few things in the village on the homeward leg. Wow, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? The sun reflecting off the water. And this is the Pillhill Brook. It's only about 6 miles long. It's a tributary of the River Anton, which joins up with the River Test and flows out to sea at Southampton. Just pan round to show the other side. And say its source is about 2 miles to the north of here at Fifield, and it really is your typical Hampshire chalk stream, free flowing, crystal clear with the gravel bottom. Such a freshness to it. Beautiful. Well, it does have a dog dip, but I don't think we'll test it out because we don't want to disturb those magnificent Canadian geese on the far side, enjoying their Sunday morning dip. Well, we're continuing to head northwards. Just come across this quite alluring lake. It doesn't seem to appear on some very old maps, so I wonder whether it's fairly recent. I know there used to be some watercress beds here in the past, but I thought those were on the just on the other side of the house, so perhaps they were here originally. But doesn't that look quite peaceful? Well, we're now starting to head westwards, and how about this for our first really good view of the day? Isn't this beautiful? With the yellow of the oilseed rape, like a field of gold in the morning sunshine. It is quite still today as well. And then this is looking northwards into, well, it must be Not sure if we are still in North Hampshire over there or we're into Wiltshire. Okay, we're going to start heading over, following a path towards that house over there. Well, we've made our way across Hay Down and we're at an important part of the walk if you're going to be following this and doing it yourselves later. Just by a house called London Lodge on the brow of a hill, and what you need to look out for, certainly ignore a little tarmac road, look out for this dead straight track, but ignore that. What you need to do is to look out for this little footpath just to the left, which is going to take us through a field on a dead straight line. Logan and I have accidentally just been down there. There's not a lot to see. Let's go. Oh, wow, what a beautiful view. Again, this is looking west, and a very far distance, just about make out the top of an Iron Age hill fort. And then just bearing to the right, just behind those trees there, is the Thruxton Motor Racing circuit, often referred to as one of the UK's fastest motor racing circuits, with top speeds of up to 190 miles an hour apparently. And it's the headquarters of the British Automobile Racing Club. It was originally constructed in 1942 as an RAF station for the Second World War. And the actual motor racing circuit itself, which follows the perimeter track of the airfield, was constructed in 1968. I think it still is an airfield though. It really is quite glorious now. It's been a strange old spring this year. We haven't had rain for at least 3 weeks, if not more. There is rain forecast tomorrow, bank holiday Monday, mind you. And the other thing about the weather, there's been a lot of frost, so it was quite chilly this morning again, but now it's spot on. Logan and I are enjoying the peace and quiet. I might have mentioned in a previous video, we've just got another puppy that's been added to the family. It's called Fiver. I expect he'll be joining us on some walks sometime when he grows up. I've taken a little bit of video footage, so I'll add that onto the end of the video. Well, I tell you, that really was a really enjoyable part of the walk. All downhill, beautiful views, especially to the north. I don't know whether it was an old droving route, perhaps. Well, not that far from Way Hill near Andover, which of course had its fair and livestock market in the past, so perhaps it was. Now, at the end of this long path that goes through the field, according to a map, there's a boundary stone, and regular viewers will know how we love trying to find boundary stones. I can't find it. which is a shame. There's a lot of undergrowth around here, so perhaps it's hidden away somewhere. So we're not going to be able to tick that one off today anyway. Well, we've now made our way to the little village of Quarley. It gets its name from, well, the settlement to the south is called Greatly, after Great Lea. Lea, L-E-A, is an area of grassland or arable land, so Quarley is quarter of a lea. At least I think that's where it gets its name from. Anyway, what it does have is a quite delightful church, which is just behind me here. It's called St Michael's Church. The nave is no later than the 12th century, with 3 windows from that time. 2 are blocked up by the porch, and there's a blocked up northern doorway. The chancel's from the 15th century, and there was a major restoration in 1882, including the addition of a south porch. I think the porch was added in 1881 and the vestry in 1882. But what it does have here on the eastern side is quite exquisite window, which dates from 1723. It's of Venetian form with Ionic order of square columns, but I think I might have mentioned right at the beginning that one of the churches had something quite extraordinary. If we just make our way round onto the north side, you'll see what I mean. Look at this. I've not seen something like this before. You usually get bells in the tower, don't you? But we've got 3 bells outside, sheltered under their own little porch. And look, the ringing mechanism, I don't know what the technical phrase for that is, but the ropes they ring the bell, they're protected by their own little wooden roof as well. Now, there is a bit of a history with these bells. Unfortunately, 2 of them were stolen in 2006, presumably for scrap. The originals were dated 1550 and 1636, so those are the one on the left and the centre one, what have they got, dates of 2007. Now the one on the right here, that's a recast bell of 1905 from an original bell that was found in a barn locally. But I think that's lovely, I really do. Well, we made our way through Quarley village. It really is quite delightful, some fabulous thatched properties as well. Now we need to look out for this property here on my left called Corner Cottage, which itself is very, very pretty. And now we start following the footpath eastwards, which is going to take us back towards Amport. But isn't this brilliant? This is almost like walking through a little medieval street with the whitewash walls and the thatched roofs at the bottom. Wonderful. Oh, that's a nice touch with the water bowl and some poo bags, although the water looks a bit could do with freshening up. Okay, so we're going to carry on heading eastwards, and the next part of the walk we're going to be following paths along the side of open fields. Another field of oilseed rape. Sun's just temporarily gone in, but I wanted to just show you, looking back towards the west, you get a good view of the hill fort from here. So we're now going to continue heading eastwards to Amport. I don't think I told you at the beginning the name Amport, where it comes from. The little stream that we saw right at the beginning originally was called the Anna or Anne, so that's where the Am comes from, and the port from Hugh de Port, who was the lord of the manor at the time of the Doomsday. Well, I'm just walking along the side of Upper Amport Wood and Lower Amport Wood on my right, with some glorious display of bluebells, but to my left, looking north, this field that's absolutely packed full of hares, but they seem to know exactly what my maximum zoom length is on my camera, so I'll have a go at taking some pictures, and if they come out clear I think I'll be very lucky. But loads of them out there, lovely to see. Well, very much on the homeward leg now, approaching the outskirts of Amport, and we're going to just pass by Amport House. Not going to see too much of it, I'm afraid, from this side, just some glimpses through hedges and fences and what have you. You can see it in greater glory from the main road though. The current house was built in 1857 by John Paulet, the 14th Marquess of Winchester, and it replaced two earlier houses built on the same site. The gardens were designed by Edwin Lutyens in the 1920s, and a planting scheme drawn up by Gertrude Jekyll. Now, the building was requisitioned by the RAF in the Second World War, and it was used for the RAF Maintenance Command. The RAF actually bought it in 1957, and the RAF Chaplain School moved there. It became the Tri-Services Chaplain School in 1996. I believe it's now been sold by the MOD. I think I was reading somewhere that it might become a hotel in 2022. Not sure about that. Certainly there are still some signs alongside all the fencing suggesting that you should keep out, that's for sure. And this is our second church of the day, St Mary's Church in Amport. There's no trace of the original church, which was built of timber and thatch. So the present church origin dates from between 1320 and 1330. It's flint with a square central tower. There was a big restoration in 1866 when the main entrance was relocated to the north side of the nave. I believe it's got 6 bells, 2 of which date from 1662. Well, back into Amport now, and as I said at the beginning, full of these beautiful properties. Look at this thatched building here, real picture postcard stuff. And then panning over, I'm guessing that must be the gates to Amport House, and perhaps, yes, a lodge next door. And the last building to look at in the village, for us anyway, is this Victorian school building, originally built in 1815, and it's still a primary school today. And then over just behind it, a row of old almshouses. Well folks, we've come to the end of our walk. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give us a thumbs up and a like, and do make a comment. And as I always say, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, then that way hopefully you'll be able to join us for another walk sometime in the future. And do check out our Facebook page, Dave's Countryside Walks. We've had a super walk today, 2 quite delightful villages, each with their own pretty churches, and some quite glorious scenery. It really does make a great walk. So until we meet again, thanks for watching, and cheerio. I think we could snooze in this sunshine now, couldn't we?
you.